Right, let's go with it. So we are doing the CHROMA. It is a, well, you can see it's got that. It's got 195 sections to the instruction manual. They have updated the instruction manual. It explains what you need and everything in it now. Never used to do that. On top of that, it's a big one. It's 12 sheets. It's huge. This is going to be a long video, so strap yourself in. Hopefully, it'll go to plan. This is me. It's probably not going to go to plan. We don't know. This is I'm at this point. Right, so if you're ready, let's break down the forward operating base. It is Gothic scenery, not industrial scenery. I find that slightly weird. I'm guessing it's for 40k. I didn't say that. I have an idea for it. But we'll talk about it as we build it. Right, let's get on with it and see how it goes. Before I even start taking it to bits, I'm going to sit here and we're going to look at the actual stuff. This is a really nice matte finish. And this is, there's a little bobble on the end. Don't know what that's for. So, yeah, it's a nice matte finish. Same thickness as usual. And it's still burn marks underneath. It is absolutely stunning. And every sheet has the number printed on, which obviously is harder to spot. And you can see this is gorgeous. I always said I didn't like the idea of having pre-painted terrain. This is obviously printed terrain. Because I like to paint them in my own colours and do things my own way. And no one wants a gaming board that looks the same. But I'll be honest with you, this is nice. This is really pretty. They do a Venice Canal for Carnival, and part of me is quite tempted to pick that up. Not for a game, just to have a bit of scenery to have like a display on, because the board, yet again, another one, is gorgeous. This thing is going to be massive. That is the landing pad or the top of the base, I think. Look at the quality on that wall. Just that colour alone. The stonework, it's phenomenal. And there's the last bit. So, there you go. That's, I don't know what that is. Some kind of electric charge thing, I reckon. There's that. We are going to build it in sections. I'm going to go through the instructions as always. And I'll work through and talk you through it as we're doing it. And you get to watch me. As I said, it's probably going to be a long video. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me cut all these bits out. We are using the purple knife today. I think the grey knife needs a new blade. It's looking a bit thick. So we're going to use purple today. I'm going to start stripping this out. And then we'll get on to building the first section. Right. Okay, so I've taken some of it to bits. This is actually more complicated than you thought, or I thought. So normally, I'd brute force everything. So everything's had to be cut gently and gradually and slowly to make sure we don't rip anything. I did tear a bit just here, but we'll just push it together and hope no one notices. I haven't beveled the edges because I'll be honest, I don't know where the edges are. And this is only the first section because, as always, the one thing they have done is in the instructions is not tell you which part is on what sheet. So you've got to kind of go through. They're all still stacked here by the side. Because it's going to take ages. This is going to be a long video. Let's just pop that out. Let's just clear out those bits. So we'll build this bit and then we'll build the bit that adds onto it and so on. We'll just do it in stages as we go along and we'll watch it build together and we'll hope we made no mistakes. Now, first things first, these two. They go together like that. And then they slot into the gaps in the door. So they're actually quite tight on the friction, as you can hear just there. Normally I'd glue this, and I may come back and glue it in time. At the moment I just want to build it, and we're going to do it without the glue. Unless it says glue, we're not going to glue anything on this one for a change. So there's that bit. Or unless we find the pieces a little bit loose, and then we will glue it. So that's that. Now, next bit, weirdly, it says put that there. Like that. Literally, just friction fit that between there and there. And done. That's the door. I don't know why it says that, but that's what it says to do. Let me just check my plans. Again. Yep, that in there, do that. Right, page 8. We take this edge. It's a long edge. Let's just put you back up. You can't see. I'm going to get rid of this, you can't see it. Right. So we're going to take this edge. And we just slide it in on here. Now, yet again, normally I'd have chamfered this, but what's going to happen on this edge if you chamfer it? It's going to look weird. So we'll do that. Across the back is the next one, I believe, which is this door here. So that now lines up with the first one. I haven't seen that. I think. Yep, first one. Won't line up with the back one. The holes are too low, look, see? They do not line up with that. They line up here. That's in. And then this edge will obviously go across here. I don't know if you've noticed, the door oh no, it goes short. This goes short to here. So we'll slot that in there. That locks in like that, and then this bit, this corner, is probably going to need gluing because what's holding that in place. So there's our base frame. Moving on a bit. At the top. Here is the top. Now, which way around does it go? That is the question. Slide that door back in. Sounds like that. So let's try and wind this up. Yet again, do you ever get that feeling that I should have chamfered stuff? But I am. That's that one in. And as always, we'll just do it upside down. Upside down we go. That one in. Any more here? There should be. Oh, there isn't. It's just the front edge. This edge. There we go. And this one has no edge. So there we go. That's that done. Oh look, the door's falling out again. But that door is not staying in place. And next we go on to the front bits. So these slide in that slot just there. This one slides in the slot just here. Go in, you horrible piece of... Nah, go on, go in. Oh look, the door fell out again. Now, that is slightly flexed. So we will take our file, when I remember where I've put it. I know where I've put it. That'll do. Right. So that's going to be sitting there. So that's not good. That bit I broke earlier is now falling off. I need to just do along that edge, you reckon? I reckon that bit. We'll just do that. Just to give it a bit. We'll just do that. And that. Also put that off already. I'm going to take that off there. Right. Let's try again. It's gone in this time, it's now loose. So we will need to glue that. Oh look, the other side is falling out. So yeah, they're going to need gluing in place, aren't they? And then we have these little bits. And these go... If these are the right bits, there's the other thing. I wasn't even sure these are the right bits. But they slot over these toes. See here. They slot over, supposedly. That goes over like that, and then the other one goes at the top. And this sits in the middle on both sides. Oh, that's tight. There we go, got it. Let's do it again on the other side. The bottom one. Should we do that first? Let's do this first. It's that one. And that's the top. And finally, this piece goes there, along there to bulk out that top bit. That's going to have to be glued. That can't just sit like that. It's friction fitting at the minute, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to cut out some more pieces and possibly glue some of this, and then we will get on to the next bit. I've only got this far. It's been half an hour of me trying to find these pieces that are on the top here. Why? Because it's a massive stack, and secondly, when I was looking through it, in the instructions, it looks something like that. It's actually that. They're not that dissimilar. Yet again, really wishing they had put what bits are on which one. It would have been more fun. That's not true. So, and this one's a weird one. Look, that's even got a weird shape on the end. They were hard to find because I didn't realise I was looking for yellow and black stripes. I have found them. We are now going to try and put them all together. So, these are going to go in as doubles. See, open up, put them together. This one's the one with the hole at the end, and then they slot in these gaps around the edge. So we'll just do this one like that. Will go in. It will go in, I swear. That's not true. I'm not going to swear unless I have to. But yeah, they're just, yet again, friction fit. Everything's friction fit. Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, I haven't glued any of it because I spent that long just trying to find these individual pieces. I should have glued it. I haven't glued it. We are still technically on the first building of this thing. This might become a little series because, to be honest, you are probably going to get bored of watching it all the way through. If I can work out how to do those things where we put markers, I may put markers in. I may not do. I don't know how to do it. I'll be honest. Do I look like I'm competent? Insane, maybe, but competent never. I still love this. I still think this is an amazing kit. And you've seen me build enough of these now to know that what I'm doing. And my phone keeps going off because there's a wedding in a month that I have to attend with friends. And also Downloads just announced something. Yeah, again, wrong size. They don't fit. They look like the right ones. They do not fit. So now I've got to find those ones. Ah, joy. Chat amongst yourselves for a minute. It's going to take me a few. I know this is all off camera as well. Could be those two, but I need more than the two. They're thin. And there's none on that one. Oh, they're the ends for that other piece I've got to do. Oh, it could be this one. We'll try this one. So what am I working on? Well, this. We're working on this. The new website is semi-up and running. Haven't actually got anything of any interest on it because I haven't actually worked out how to build a shop yet, or even if I'm going to have a shop. Because I don't know if I'm going to continue or if I'm just going to write random stories and just leave it there at that, which sounds pointless to most people. Because why do something for free? I do everything for free. I always have done. I'm an idiot. That's not true. I like to help. While I've been off from the day job, I did look into trying to write a roleplay game, which a lot of people are going to find interesting because I don't play roleplay games. No, I think I played D&D back when I was about 12. Well, that one goes in there. Okay, we'll use that there. So, yeah, it's been a while since I have played a roleplay game. And as such, I thought we would try and build one. I'll be honest with you, there are bits for these. I'll work out what these ones are for later. We'll put them to one side. Because looking at the actual build, they may go on one of the other outpost points. Right, what's next? We are doing the big block here. Hopefully once the big block is done, these smaller sections will be really easy. This is the main forward operating base. It's going to have a tower at the back corner over here, and there's another edge goes on here. Then we've got a guard tower, 2 doors, power plant, and some very boring barricades to build. So we need these little tiny small, I don't know if this is going to focus or not. There you go. Here's the annoying bit. They're hard to find because they come in 2 different colours. Yeah. So there's some in the brown, some in the white. They slot in the back of this piece like that. Obviously, because they're inside, they don't need to be painted. So I spent some time trying to work that one out. And we've got to build those 3 with those. And this, yeah, these are quite tight. I actually damaged the paint on the front of this one. But yet again, this is for the front. So we'll just slot that down. That one. Slot that in. That's that them. This one we go in. This one we go down. What was I talking about? I don't know. I can't remember now. Oh, me doing a roleplay game. Yeah, I had 2 weeks off the day job, so I, cause, you know, they force you to take holiday. So I decided we would look at writing a roleplay game. So I started writing a roleplay game. It's not actually a roleplay game. What it is a framework for you guys, for other people to build a roleplay game. It's not done. I've got character creation done. I've got most of the GM book done. Haven't really got any mechanics yet for it. Working on it, but we'll get there eventually. And I'm working on a board game, which sounds so exciting. It might be. But this is me, and I do Weird and Wonderfuls. That's the wrong one. So, these bits, we're going to slide that together like that. And that slots in this edge here. He says, yep, this one, that way around, same again. Remembering everything's going on the outside. And that slots in this edge here. I'm fairly sure there's something gluing. In case you're wondering, yes, I have torn parts of the sticker off on bits when I've done it. Because as always, I am too heavy-handed. And that's what we do. Right, where was I? Cut there. Spin it round, cut there, use the file just to push it out. There we go, that's 1. Same on the other side. 2. Still tore, even though I'd cut it. So check your cuts, people, check your cuts. Let's do it again. Make sure it's cut, that one. And we'll do the same over here. Yes, it is a new blade, because... And I just snapped it. Always start projects like this with a new blade. Why? Because it needs to be sharp to cut through the sticker, and it needs to be sharp to cut through the word. Right, that's that done, that's that done. Let's line these up on the back. 1. 2. Oh, I got a new chair. Doesn't squeak anymore. There's a footrest as well, so we'll find out what that's like later. That goes like that. Now, this bit was a pain to find as well, because, to be honest, yet again, I keep that's not in properly. I keep saying this. Having what page or what board in the instructions each piece of the build is on would be so much better than having to guess, because some pieces look the same. Right, let's just... Oh, that's tight. Go in. That's in. That's out. Why does it keep doing that on this side? I do not know. Oh, that's it. They've both popped in. There's a little node on the inside of it for them to pop in on. And weirdly, these now need to go on here to pop into that. And voila! And your little guy. Oh, who are we going to use? Let's use machine gun in spacesuit. I mean, you can't see him. There he is. Machine gun in spacesuit. Oh. Just sits there and got cover, depending on what game you're playing. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go... Still have the door here. I'm going to take some more bits to pieces and we'll get on with the next section. I don't know what the next section is. I haven't actually read that far ahead. Why are we not surprised? Had to glue it. Couldn't get away with it. Had to glue it. It was falling to bits. So we're up to putting these bits on the side. It's 2 pieces like that. They slot together like that. You've seen this already. And we slot them in underneath. Like so. What you'll notice is I've put half of them round. I did that so I didn't lose them. We're just going to slot these in. This is a short one because these are going to have to be glued. I've glued this. I've glued the door on. I've glued this bar here. I've glued part of the roof down as well. Why? Because every time you moved it, it fell to bits. I know the idea is you take it to bits, you put it up, you put it away. You rebuild it, you put it away, you take it. Do you want to rebuild this every time for a game? I don't. I'm looking in there going, it'll take hours. Because what you haven't seen is I have been doing this for about 3 hours. Oh, fudge. I just pulled that off. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about this bit here at the front. I've just pulled off once I finished this section. So there's a bar at the front. You'll see it when I pull it back this way in a second. It just detached because the glue hadn't dried, basically. Let's go in. So this bar here is glued into place. Yep, all those bits I've just put in fell out because I haven't glued them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out. I'll just slide it over and I'll show you how it looks with them in, and then off camera I will glue it all back in. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? So, see? Literally sliding on the floor. In that slots again. So there you go, that's with all the edges on. Now, we'll ignore that, we're just going to spin this round. We're going to talk about this front bit. So this bit here I have glued on. And there is another bar here that we position in as well. Now, it tells you to put it in, it slots in between the two things, it will slip. What I did was I glued it, and then obviously you can see the glue still drying. I hadn't glued it in the right position. You want to put this on and then work out where it needs to go, because these bits on this bar here, these sections, actually rest on there. So they want to glue to that, which then lets the top sit there neatly. If you put it too high, it pushes all out of line. Also, that is now glued in. Haven't glued those on yet. Right, I'm going to glue all these sides on the bits on the side that you just saw me all put on and have all fallen off already. And then I will work out what comes next, because I actually don't know. Shock, horror, gasp. Right, where was I? Waiting for glue to dry. So that's what I've been doing. We're up to the next bit. So we're going to be doing the covering for this. So we have these very fragile, very thin pieces. They basically slot around these screens. They're all the same size. They probably won't glue it in. I'm just slipping them in for now so you can see them going in. Nothing more than that. In case you're wondering, yes, this is taking a really long time to do. Because it is quite complicated. I have had lunch, but see, that one's free because, and I've done it, I've just twinged it a bit. Same there. See, they're not going to fit. So they're going to need gluing in. But I will do that afterwards. I'll quickly just drop them in place to remind me to do it when I pick them up. And then we'll look at the top plate, because this is kind of cool as well. There's a lot of doubling up on this. So obviously we have the effects on one side, we have the blank on the other. The blank needs to go towards the outer edge because you want to see the effect on the inside. I said this, that goes in the other end. That one goes over here, I think. Or are they the wrong ones? Oh no, they are the right ones. That's okay. Ooh, that was a bit of a creak, wasn't it? So, and then hopefully this one goes in here. Yeah, that side goes in there. So watch out for that. Different ones go on different sides. And then finally, this bit rests on the top, and that builds that whole section. Now there is part of me going, what I should have done for packing this up is glued all of this, but left it so it wasn't glued to the main building. So then you could remove it for putting it away. Obviously when we come to do the back section, because of the way this is built, here, I plan on gluing this, there you go, see, I plan on gluing this section on, but the tower, which will sit up above here, I'm thinking I'll leave it so it can be removed. Because if I glue it into these pegs, how am I gonna store it? It's gonna snap, it's gonna wobble, it's gonna cause problems. So there you go, that's the plan for that one. And yeah, if you're building this outer edge over here, I would suggest building this block on its own and then having it slot in. Don't glue it in to start with. I've made the mistake. You don't have to. Right, I'm guessing the next bit is we do the back. Yep. Once we've got this section done in the back corner, the tower isn't too hard to build, the door isn't too hard to build, and the power generator isn't too hard to build. So we will probably just bang through those. I will only do one door because, let's be honest, there's two doors and they're built the same. There is no point in me doing both of them for you. Right, I will set up the next bits to do the back section here, and then we will get back to it. Right, I am clearly blind. We haven't finished with this end. We have this section to put on, and we have these to put on. It is a glue job, let's be honest. These are free floating bits. Oh, and these bits as well. These tiny, tiny pieces. They're free floating bits. So, for example, this bit goes somehow there, like that. That's going to need gluing in. I know I've just pushed it in, but that's going to need gluing. These bits, one goes on this corner, like so, and the other one goes on this corner. So that in first. Here's the best bit. Lost it. Here's the funny thing about this. At no point in the instructions does it actually say glue. It just shows this bit going there. See, this piece. And then this piece going behind it like that to make that corner. That's not going to stay there. See? They're going to need gluing. Same with these pieces. These little bits just go in front of these blocks to thicken up the top of the portcullis. Yet again, glue. Because that's what you got to do. I'm not going to film me doing this. I'm just going to do it, and then we're going to move on to do the back section over there somewhere. I may have to pull the camera out. This is getting quite large. Yeah, and we're nearly 30 minutes in according to the timer. So guess what? I might cut a lot of this out and redo the sound. We'll see. I don't know. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm going crazy doing this because it's literally now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I started this at 11 o'clock this morning. I did have lunch. This might get really complicated and really boring really quickly. There's a lot of fiddly these little bits. Well, I've already broken this one, so I'm going to have to repair that. But they're meant to go mirrored like that, and that makes no sense. Why one side would be wood, one side would be the rust. So I'm going to guess somewhere in here is the opposite side, so I've got to find that. There's also this bit. This bit goes in this wall, just here, somehow. To do something. I don't know what yet. I haven't got there. Trying to find this piece was an absolute nightmare because it's white. It just doesn't stand out. So yeah. Now, I also discovered, while looking, there we go, slots in like that. I've also discovered while looking around, this is actually the second forward operation base from TT Combat. The first one, known as Classic, is more the old Necromunda blue. This is more of a grim, darky grey, which I quite like. So I've just had to look at the old plans to try and work out how this goes, because the photos on the site are not up to date, showing all the different sides of the base, which means I had no idea what this side looks like. So I was really struggling to find the parts. And this is the other problem why it's taken me so long. I am struggling to find the parts. They're buried in bits and pieces, and sometimes they're in sections where you can't see them properly. It is easier to see them from this side. It would be nice if they just put on the top corner of the instructions which sheet they're on, because I am fairly sure he says. Panicking because he's not actually sure at all. It's not true. I'm not. In fact, I have 2 of these. This one there's 2 of. They're identical. I reckon that's just the doors, because there's a door section. So I'm fairly sure that's what that's for. I honestly thought I was going to finish this today. I'm not. This will be released on Sunday. I'm just it was released on a Sunday. If you guys don't know, I just haven't actually finished the main build for the main section. It will be up then tomorrow, which is Sunday, which will be the 15th. Yes, I'm doing this on Valentine's Day. That's not important. But yeah, it's a nice build, and to be honest, the colours and the texture is absolutely lovely. I would love to show you it finished. I will show you it finished. I've just got to get it finished. It just might not be for today. Anyway, that's where we are at the moment. And yeah, most of this is just rambling because the complications of some of it is just annoying. It's like I had to go back and show you this bit because I'd have just done it otherwise and you'd not seen it. This whole section, finding that one piece, seriously, that one piece took me ages because it's white. It just blended in completely. It's just there, by the way, if you're wondering. It's on sheet 8 of 12. It's just below the door, and because it's white, it was there. I actually saw it from this side. When I was trying to find it, it was on this side that I realised that's the shape I was looking for. I couldn't find it. I struggled to. Yeah, so there you go. Most of what's left on this to do is the rest of the square here. Build this up. Then the stand that goes above it. I've got the outer decaling to do on the other side. Is it decaling? I don't think it's decaling. The word beginning with G. Not grommets. Gubbins. And stuff that's going to go on. I'm just popping the bits out the doors. Or out these wall pieces. It's the gubbins that goes on the side of the building, which is what I'm doing here. I'm just popping the bits out of it. Because this all needs to go down one side. Along this edge. And this edge. And so on. I think this edge, it has supports for this, so it shouldn't collapse. But I've been doing this that long, I can't even speak English anymore. Yeah. So it says this is a quick build. It probably is if you're not filming it, I'll be honest with you. But we'll keep going. I've pre-glued a lot of stuff. Because we got to double up bits like these, need to be doubled. I've also moved the camera back as well. I've lost one of these already. I can't find it. I've spent literally the last hour and a half scraping the floor and going through everything. I cannot find it. So I've only got 3. Should be 4 of them. Can't find number 4. Don't know if I've seen number 4. I'll be honest with you. It hopefully will turn up. These bits are glued and you can see there's gaps because I'm heavy-handed. So we are now going to build the edge. Here, let's get rid of the file. So we'll turn this to face this way. This white section is back here. And the first bit of the plans, it's actually 2 of these. Annoyingly, I don't know which way up they go. Not that way. That was fairly short. And then they're going to slot in here. Which means, yep, they go in that. Like that. That's one. The other one goes in there like that. Obviously gluing them would be an idea because they don't feel too great. And then at the top we go that peg, it says, as it doesn't go in. No, we'll just chamfer an edge, drop the file and slide that in. That's in. And the other one goes at the other end. That in? No, that's not in. I'll chamfer the edges again, just a little. That felt like I just broke it. I didn't. That's good. That's in. So that's that section. Then we take these pieces, which we've already glued. And these go into this. So they go long, long, short. So long one, done. Next long one, done. Short one, done. And this bit goes under here. Goes there to be exact. And that obviously gives us a support for that section at the top. Right, I know what we're going to do while we're sat here, because that's clearly going to need gluing. Should we just glue it? Let's just glue it. Now, on the supports, I haven't actually glued them in. I just filled the behind the support with lots of glue. I seem to be in some end of that. I have a headache, which is the other problem. Right, slot in. It's snowing here, would you believe? We actually have snow on the ground. It was raining, it's now snowing. And the snow has actually stuck. Now here's the question. Should I glue the top to hold that up there? Should I? Should I glue these across the top so they would have stuck to this, or should I left them loose? I'm going to leave them loose. No, let's be honest, when you put models aren't that heavy, they're not going to make that much difference. Right. That's that bit done. Just put it back down. Next bit is... what is the next bit? Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. So it's actually... this section is next. We need something that goes in the bottom of that, and I, for some reason, haven't actually removed that, because it's mainly because I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. Hopefully it's this one. If it's not this one, I could be in trouble. Yeah. Sorry, I'm playing with a hammer. Yep, it was that one. They just slot in the bottom here, like so, and then, yep, this bit, where is it? This bit goes there, and then there's another one that should go there. Oh, it's torn. I presently do not have either of those pieces. So what we may have to do, if it doesn't turn up before I finish building this, I'll just cut one out of the wood, because I'm not going to glue this in. I'm just going to slide it in like that. See, it goes there, and the other one should go on this side. But I don't have the other one, so we're going to take that out and put it over here out the way. We're not going to lose it. Let's check it's not in there. It's not in there, is it? No. And what will happen, if I don't find it by the end, I will use the other part as a template. We'll make one and then we'll paint it up and slot it in, because there's a lot of wood left over and they go in the top like that. So that's that bit done. And this slots in here. Now I've been thinking about this, because obviously I did a lot of prep work on this bit before we began, and I am wondering, because clearly the other part slots in here on this section here, not to glue it into the base, so then you can remove it. This bit obviously is going to be freewheeling, but if we do that, then if you want to take it off, you can do. Still going to have that bit, but it doesn't take up as much room. Like I should have done with this bit, where we just have it plug on the side. That's what we should have done, or I should have done to start with. Right, next bit. This bit. Glue on the back, it goes there. So I'll just glue the back. I'll get it on. I'm guessing most of the instructions that we use for these, because obviously, as I've said, it doesn't explain everything properly, like where you should glue, where you shouldn't glue, and so on. I am going to guess common sense is the idea, which as we get older seems to become rarer and rarer. I'll do. Right. Now, there's two of these. And there are 4 of these. These go in there like that. And like that. He says. And then this bit, the first one, goes on this edge. Pushing it backwards. Like so. We hope if it goes in. Well, that's tight. Is that it? Just going to remove this from the wall. There we go. That's better. That's in. That's better. There we go. See? I don't like that overlying edge. I would prefer it to be forward, but it is what it is. And this bit, I'm going to take a wild guess that goes there. Like that. But before we do that, we are meant to put in these pieces. 2 of them. One goes at the bottom, which we'll just glue, because that's easier to do. Make sure the pattern is top side up. Stay. See, there isn't another bit that seems to sit on top of this. I thought there might be, as I have looked through everything. But I haven't found anything that would go on top of it. I'm probably going to get proven wrong as well, because I have been through the instructions, and the instructions doesn't say there is another layer. So I'm going to guess that they just go that way around and that way around. Like that, and that's it. And you don't see... But to be honest, if there is a bit that goes on it, you can put it on the underside instead of the overside, can't you? Let's just glue the top bit. Okay, I just totally messed up. I glued the back like an idiot, but that doesn't go there, does it? It goes on the other side. I am an idiot. There's always one mistake. Let's just clean off excess glue. Leave that hold like that to dry for a second. There we go. And then we take this piece and it slots in the back. Obviously, it's a shop door, so if you want to have it as a shop window or a shop door or shop whatever, don't glue it. Not around. Yeah. Because you may want to open, you may want to put people inside it. I personally don't think you do. I keep looking at it and going, yeah, let's just keep this as a external position. And you're now watching me struggle with everything that I have done, as I am an idiot. There we go. But I don't actually think you want to have it accessible. Because if you have this accessible, it's a lot of opening and closing doors, lifting it up, putting it down. It's just going to become awkward. I heard something drop. I was seeing if the piece was behind it. It's not. It's just going to become something awkward. So I would just glue the window shut. I can't honestly see you using a shop front. Well, you never know. You might do. I'm saying these things. You are your own gamer. You may do that. You may build your own shop fronts and stuff, and you may actually have them used as shops. And I might just be making no sense whatsoever. Just gluing that piece into there. And we're just going to glue this into here. As you do. And then we'll just glue this edge on here. And then we'll just slot that. He says, so the top's not great. Into there. I will knock the mic over while I'm doing all of this. And we will scroll down to the next bit. Right, we have another one of these. It's already here. It's already done. It's not. I just got to glue it. Give me a second. Weirdly, it doesn't tell me to stick that in there. Like that. Or even attach that like that. The instructions are weird in how they explain things to do. So it's like, it doesn't actually tell you that this is attached to the wall. So it tells you to attach this to the wall, but then when you build it, it doesn't show it attached to the wall for how you build it. Please don't get me moaning about instructions wrong. I think what they make is great for the price. TT Combat stuff is really good value. It's really good scenery. This whole thing, the whole forward base, I think cost me 65 quid. And I don't mind that for the quality, to be honest. I'll try and glue this differently on this one. We're going to glue the... this is where I made the mistake last time. I've just realised I've just made exactly the same mistake. I've glued there and I'm going to plug it over. That's going to push all the groove through the front. It gets you to slot it in. Okay, when you actually get further down the instructions, this bit is already in the wall. It's not, because this is me. So in the instructions, the wall is in, and then you slot this bit. So the corner, this corner section and everything else into that. Which I'm just going to do it this way. Because if I want to take it to bits, I can now take it to bits. Is that lined up properly? Looks lined up properly to me. They look lined up properly to you. And then I'm gluing this bit. This is silly, but this is how it goes. Doesn't actually hold anything. It just slots over these two pegs, like so. So I'm just trying to slot it over these two pegs. There we go, and there we go, and just sits like that there, holding it in position. It doesn't say which way around it should go, because obviously there's the brass on one side and there's the wood on the other. I'm guessing it should be upside down, because there's a roof that goes on top of this. But then again, the glue goes back on the wood side. I don't know. That would be cool if someone at TT Combat actually watched my stuff and went, "Oh yeah, no, that's not how you do it, Dave. This is how you do it." That would be kind of cool. But I'm doing it from the instructions that are in front of me, so you guys can go, "Ha ha ha! No, that's wrong." Now here comes a problem. Once the roof is on, that's not going to slide out. So let's just top that off, extend this out. We're going to glue the whole thing in. Because clearly, once the roof is on, you aren't going to take it off. Which is a shame. So this edge is going to be permanently stuck where it is for all of eternity. It's not. You're going to break it. It's going to have to separate. We're all going to break it at some point. It's all going to come off. None of us are going to worry about it because we're wargamers and it's what we do. And now we'll just glue along the rim. Yeah, maybe they should have been upside down. And this now all goes click, 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 click. Done. How's that? That work for you? That works for me. What's next on the list of pieces? Right. So, upside down bit. One of these again goes on this edge. That's what those pegs are for. So when you put it on, you just put that on there and that will slot into place and hold in place on top of those pegs. That feels silly. No one else thinks that's silly? I feel that's silly. It's probably not. We will need a ladder. Ladders. Put those there. So these are a couple of lights we've got to glue on. I'm just going to clean that edge off there. Clean that one off there. Well, that might have been easier to take off with a knife. Was! Yay! They get mounted halfway up these. I am just going to check there are no other lights, because they just look like red dots. They don't actually look like lights. If you've got the gubbins kit, because they do a gubbins kit, I don't know where mine is. I think there's a set of lights in that. My industrial gubbins kit. Let's have a look what's in here. Oh, they're lights. There's chains, there's boards, there's thin bits, so you have thin bits of plate. I think I've done the gubbins kit before, I think I've walked you through it. Now obviously you have the thicker bits of plate, depending on what you want to use. I thought there were lights. I know there's drains, I know there's screws, I know there's bolts. I may have already used the lights for other stuff, that's the problem. There are cogs, there are first aid signs. There are the outer sections of fans. I generally keep the outer sections of fans, because I quite like them. And the inner sections as well. No, there doesn't appear to be a light in here. Really cool tubing section. You could have that running along something. No, I must have used all my lights. Remind me once I leave 29 weeks to go and get another gubbins kit, because as I said, they are quite useful for modifying your builds. Right, so these need glue. Glue. The glue is just to the side here. Small dab. And then it goes about halfway down. And this one, small dab. Will do. So like there and there, basically. Okay, ladder, this one. This isn't dry yet, but it goes on this side, so it would hook up with that peg there. There is a short one. The short one, I think, goes on the other side, but I haven't got to that part of the plant yet. Ah, it's the vent. There is a vent section. Here is the vent section. There are a few of these actually on the set. This also goes on this wall somewhere about there. See? I'm not going to glue that on right now. I'll do that later. No, I'll do it now. Because it's got the gaps in it, we want a very thin bead of glue. So if you look, I'm just trying to get a bubble. There it is. And I'm just gently sliding it around. That'll do. And then the vent goes about level with this bit. So it's about level, if you see. Making sure it's straight. I'm not putting a thingy on it, spirit level. We're now going to do the top. So that's... Here comes the fun bit. I don't know which of these I need. And there's loads. I think it's that one. So that one goes on there. It is that one. Nope, it's not that one. That's too short. Okay. That one? Well, that was the right length, but it's not the right shape. Is it? Oh, it might be. It might just be the way I'm looking at it. That might be the right way around. Then this bit goes on the outside. See? Gives us that. Then we have the next one. Nope. No, that fits. That's not the right one, because... Oh, that is the right one. So this one next, and there we go. It goes in there. And then the outside of that one slides over, I hope. That feels a bit off here, but you know, glue. Also, that hasn't quite gone in properly. But I'm only demoing, so or showing, so I can do it all again properly later. And the final one. Oh no, that's that done. We're going to do these now. I've already glued these together to save time. There's 2 of them. See, and they go click in here and click in here. You know what? I'm just going to chamfer these. There we go. And no, still not way to go. There we go. That's in. That's actually really stiff. Getting that out's going to be an interesting project. I messed up. I meant to have a ladder side. What I've actually had, so it should be that one. So there should be that and the blank one. Now, let me just double. Oh, okay. Let's take that out. Oh, probably messed up. So we need those, and we need this, and these slot in there. It's not going to go. Come on, slot in. There we go, like that. On this side, same again. Not actually sure which side the stairs should be, and they're still wet because I've only just glued them. So that's that bit done. So that's that. And then, on top of that, is the shorter version of this, I think. Obviously, not glued together, should be glued together. And that just slots in there. Now, do you want to see what I've done wrong here? If you notice, the ladder is there, the top is there. So I need to turn this around. So the ladder goes on the other side, because if you're climbing up the ladder, when you get to the top of the ladder, there's a bar blocking you. You're not going to get on top of the thing you're trying to get on top of, are you? So we'll do that. While I'm here, we'll put the glue on the back. It's too much glue, way too much glue. Grab it quickly before it goes down the thing, and squish. So there we go. I'm not actually going to glue this into here, because part of me thinks it shouldn't be glued in. Part of me believes you should be able to remove that, because it's very flimsy and therefore may snap when you try to do anything with it. Right, what's next? Oh, these just block together like that, do they? So with these ones, double-sided, it just slots in on this side like that. Yet again, more one gluing. And then we have the bit across the middle, which one side has that on, so that will be for this side. And this one goes, right, that goes on there like that. Hasn't told me which bit goes on the outside of that yet. And this one goes on here like that. Ow, I slipped. So that's on there, that's on there. That's just detached. We probably want to glue that actually. So we want to probably glue all of this once it's done. Ah, now, that's interesting. It's not those bits. Actually, funny story. They're actually the wrong bits. No, I think they're the wrong bits. But weirdly, they're going to work. Obviously, we have other lids to do, so they're all built the same. Now, that's going to go over that like that. See? Pop. Leaves it a bit long. This one goes over that like that. Yet again, they're a bit long, so maybe I've gone and put these in the wrong way round. No, I can't have done. There's a reason I can't have done. So if you look, the breast line's there, holds it in place. So these are oversized. Why are they oversized? They are the only ones we have, unless you go with the... No, they're the same. These are the same. Same ones. These ones have a drop shadow on them, which would fit as well, but we're not told to use them on this one. So I don't know. We'll just push them in. If I'll be honest, if you want to shave those off, shave them off. I'm probably going to shave them off. Then this obviously, ladder goes towards the middle, slots in like that, slots in like that. I don't suggest gluing that in because you'll want to take it out. This bit will need gluing in. Do it quickly, and that slots to there. And I think we're done. Apart from this bit here where I'm missing the section, I think we're done. Yeah, we are. So that is the main FOB. I'm going to stop here because this is a long video already. I will do the other parts of it. We'll do a part 2, which will be the generator, the door, and the lookout post. We'll do that as part 2. We'll leave this as part 1. Thank you for watching. Any questions, as always, stick them in the comments. Check the website. It has been updated, I think. May not have been. We have a new website. Working on it.